Mohammed beat Ben Wallace to the opening tip, so the first possession is San Antonio's. This is Manu Ginobili laying it off for Tim Duncan. He bounces it inside to Mohammed. Hook off the glass goes to make it 2-0 Spurs. Duncan rolls through the lane, puts it up and in.
Well, if this is going to be refereed this way, in the first 5 minutes, you must adjust.
Here's Duncan. This is Duncan coming up here. But they get 19-9. Ginobili splits the defense. Outside as well as inside, and then Duncan is there to put it back in. Duncan puts it in. It's like Bowen also took a little shot in the snout right there. Back it comes to Ginobili beyond the arc to knock down a three-pointer. 1 point air ball. Bowen misses a 2-point attempt, and then Duncan is there to knock it back in to make it 42-41. It's the first lead since San Antonio scored the first basket of the night. Bowen will feed Duncan. Then turning towards the baseline, and San Antonio has its biggest lead.
He relaxes by reading. Hey, not a bad way.
Beautiful, whatever it takes. Here's Duncan inside. And Duncan is scoring and going to the line. Hamilton driving. Is that contested? Then Rasheed Wallace gets fouled. Big Ben underneath.
Great block.
Pass. Good block. And Prince gets it back. And Prince gets hammered. Duncan as they reset the shot clock to 4. No problem. Mohammed pressured outside by Rasheed Wallace. Gives it up to Duncan. Turnaround. Talked about it the other night that Popovich was the best man at Larry's wedding. And Tim Duncan's first shot of the game is good, and he gets fouled. Bowen drives and lays it in off the glass, and then Duncan is there for the final to follow. Threw it away. Wallace has it. Hamilton can't convert, though. Spurs quickly back. Barry to Duncan. Left-handed. Udrich with his Ginobili imitation. Out to Duncan from way outside.
You know he can make that shot.
Bowen from the corner, and sooner or later. Prince contested by Duncan and out of bounds. Hamilton contested by Duncan, who can't believe it's not called a double dribble or traveling. Tim Duncan. Nobody almost knocked it away. Then underneath, Hamilton has that shot contested, and Duncan comes away with it and gives it to Ginobili. Here's McDyess. Robert Horry in the game for him. Hamilton missing his first effort of the night. So San Antonio has already gone to the bench for 2 substitutions in the first minute and a half of the game. And then Barry from outside. Here goes Bowen. Inside, has it knocked away, but Duncan is right there. And then Parker whips it back outside to Bowen for a 3. And it gets tipped up and in by Duncan.
You cannot go asleep. Rasheed Wallace must attack Tim Duncan down in the low post area and force him to play him.
Turn around over McDyess. Duncan will work it back to Bowen. 3-point attempt for Bruce Bowen from the corner on his 34th birthday to tie the game at 36. Duncan.
He said, Shaunta said, I'm rating your game, and your game is like, nah. And he said it definitely set a charge up under him, because he said, usually, you come home, your wife says, hey, nice game, I still love you. He said, not this.
Duncan, and when Duncan goes off the glass, it is money in the 84-69 San Antonio, the final in the opener. Bowen misses. Duncan is there for the rebound. Hands it to Parker, and Tony scores. Getting it to Hamilton off that curl, and not only a block by Bowen, he just takes it out of the air.
Now, that's one of the very few that you have seen in 3 games plus less than a minute.
And then Duncan scores. Duncan goes in and misses, and Duncan gets it back and scores. And Popovich at the Air Force Academy majored in Soviet studies. Mohammed and Bowen out there for San Antonio. And Duncan keeps it alive to Brown, and then Duncan goes in with the left hand to put it in. I love it. Popovich is talking about the free world. Wallace is talking about an independent society, and Parker finally scores. He gets it back to Arroyo, and that is shoved right back in his face by Tim Duncan. It's a 3-second violation. No foul on that last play. The change of possession now.
All right, and then as a college player, to just say, I am going to keep the ball moving offensively, only take what's a gimme for me. That's difficult to do.
And that's Ginobili scoring after Hamilton picks up his 4th foul.
Prince, nice block.
Duncan was underneath.
Oh, quick move.
Duncan. Now Tim Duncan guarded by Rasheed Wallace. Ginobili goes by Prince, drops it off underneath to Duncan, and he puts it in to make it 2-0.
No double team.
Duncan one-on-one with Wallace and puts it in. Duncan looking around for a foul call, didn't get it. And now Manu Ginobili, so hot in the first 2 games, so cool in the 2 games here. Remember, he was hit in the thigh early in game 3. Everybody's saying he's fine, but you tell me. Here's Duncan putting it in.
The emphasis has been Duncan. There's no doubt about it.
Wallace comes up with a loose ball. And Horry now for San Antonio.
Excellent defense on Rip Hamilton that time. That was a tough move.
Tony Parker, that can't drop, but Duncan is there for the follow to make it a 4-point game. Parker gets 3 underneath. Backdoor underneath. Duncan. Wallace. On him. And over him goes Duncan to put it in. It's swung around to Hunter, who lays it off for Big Ben underneath. And he can't get free. That's blocked. Phillips has it. Here's Parker now. Unties the game after Detroit had erased a 9-point deficit. Ginobili in the lane. Puts up a prayer. Duncan is there for the jam. Play resumes. 7.5 to go. 3rd quarter. And Duncan blocks that one out of bounds, and the shot clock is at 6.
You can see the trap. They're going to go right after Barry in the backcourt, force him to give it up.
Going wide open. Ginobili with the rebound underneath to Duncan for the layup. Horry inside. Duncan from the lane drops it in.
Tough catch, a great spin move, and an excellent release by Duncan.
Duncan underneath from Horry, and to back off, puts it in. It's the Duncan Wallace show again. And this time Duncan gets it back after it was knocked away. Rasheed Wallace says, where's the travel? There was none, and the game is tied at 71 with Parker getting the ball. Duncan missing. Duncan keeps it alive. And Duncan was almost tied up, gets it back, scores, and gets fouled. Wallace now has 6 points. Horry and Brent Barrier in the game as Tim Duncan puts it in. That's his first basket of the night. Duncan through the lane, lays it in. Yeah, because that's been a steady theme throughout the series, especially in the couple of games here the last time. After a Hamilton bucket, Duncan answers.
Yeah, see, that can't happen.
Duncan gets it back from Parker from 17. And then Duncan loses Ben Wallace.
Ben Wallace got pinned.
Lindsey Hunter is in 3 guards in the lineup now for Detroit, and Tim Duncan turns around and ties the game. Ginobili. Manu Ginobili makes it a 1-point game. Ginobili. Duncan.
Now they luck out right there.
Duncan in low. Gets the bounce.
That was a strong move.
Ginobili is guarded by Tayshaun Prince. Duncan comes way outside with Wallace on him and then puts it up off the glass. Robert Horry has come into the game for the first time. And underneath is Duncan to put it back in. Fouls, and the coach just about killed to get a straight out of there. And there's the block, and Barry comes back the other way.
Now they'll go Ben Wallace on Horry, but then great block by Duncan.
And Horry responds at the other end. Near turnover, but Duncan saves it and scores.
Now that's a break.
Pistons by 2. Duncan to tie it up. Here's Duncan inside. Gets it back, puts it in, and gets fouled. Duncan, this time he's got Prince on him. And Duncan puts it in and gets fouled. Duncan now. Tim Duncan banks one home, 53 all. And Duncan gets free and off the glass.
That can't happen.
And Phillips has to go out of bounds. It's off San Antonio. We've got 9 seconds. Hunter. Ginobili off the glass.
See, right away, Rip Hamilton went right into the post and posted up Parker.
Duncan with a dunk.
Remember we told you about Duncan's offensive rebounding. That's his 5th of this game.
Now Bowen from outside, and Bruce Bowen, who's been pretty quiet from three-point land.
So you have Prince on Timmy Duncan.
And you also have 2 on the shot clock. And from the corner, it's Duncan. Duncan puts it on the floor, lays it off to Ginobili with 2 on the clock. Huge. And the San Antonio Spurs with tough defense. And Tim Duncan answering a lot of questions and erasing any doubt about coming up big when you have to come up big. And for the 3rd time in 7 seasons, the San Antonio Spurs are the NBA champions.